You have to set up just like a generic intro.
Hey, how you guys doing this morning? This is the way we're going to have to do it in order to have a waiting room and the intro and stuff. I'm going to have to pop in afterwards because apparently the HD cam won't let the waiting room or anything else run because computer. So far this morning, we have a Neil and Panina Chan who is in the Atlanta airport this morning between flights. Yeah, she's in between flights. Where are you headed, Panina? Bits of delay and stuff. People pop into the live chat. Let me see here.
Portland.
Ooh, Portland, Oregon. Good morning, Jason. Hey, Eric Clark. Yeah, oh, right. I forgot to put on the webcam. There you go. Box on face is gone. No, Facebook doesn't want you to tag me. All right. So, let's see. I got some work done yesterday. I actually got the edits done on the book. I'm waiting on the finalization for the book cover for my first novel. So when all that is ready to go, I am going to have a book release live stream party. So be on the lookout for that. I will be sending out invites via my website for people that want to be on the live stream to help me party about my book release and to get my book out there and so forth. So there is that. Let me see. What else do we have in this morning? My Evernote's going slow on my Kindle. I don't need you to do that. Thank you. I don't need tech issues with all my tech gear. Holy crap. Okay. Books. Yep.
You know you're invited.
You know you're invited, Panina. You know you're invited. Let's see here. Yeah, my book is the book is called Only for Me. It is a mystery suspense novel. That's supernatural in nature, so it's got a little bit of a twist to it in there. But yeah, I will be sending invites to about 5 people to be on the live stream with me, but that event is going to be put on my website, and I am going to be shouting that out for people that want to register for the live stream. So, and that's the way I'm actually reserving spots on my live stream now, because I'm trying to generate traffic to my website. And Wix actually lets you set up invites for events so people can actually register to say they're coming, which I think is really cool, and that's part of their free website service. So let me shrink my Phoebus so we can get to the news, because we got to get to the news.
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 News.
Okay, first is a little bit of geek news. For those of you that do not know, this is the 15th anniversary of the airing of Firefly. Companies together aim to misbehave, and let's carve out our own piece of sky together. This is an intro to, because Ronan and I were talking about this morning, and we figure in honor of the 15th anniversary, we are going to be doing a rabbit marathon of the Firefly TV series on Sunday. So if any of you are available for that, DM me either on Twitter or through the DM for Discord, and I'll throw you my rabbit link, and I'll let you know what time we're starting that marathon, because we're going to go all of the way. So, I know you're trying. She's trying not to be rude. She says, "Good morning, Ronan." So yeah, Firefly I found through DVDs. I didn't see it on the TV. I absolutely fell in love with it because it was one of those lightning in a bottle moments. And the fact that it has a cult following, and the only thing they did to acknowledge the cult following was a 2-hour movie. I'd come, but I doubt I'd be awake since I get up quite late on the weekends. Well, we sleep in on the weekends too. So just let me know when you would be available, because I'm trying to see if I can arrange it so my UK friends can also watch it without being up till 3. So I like to coordinate with everybody to see if I can get a really good time. You did see the movie though. Cool. The actual series was pretty funny.
Yeah, that series is
good. So yeah, that is looking forward to, because we must marathon for the anniversary.
No, Panina, you're our Panina.
Yep, you are our Panina. All right, so the first story doesn't have a picture, but a Florida nursing home is under scrutiny after Irma. Yes, it happened. The Rehabilitation Center of Hollywood. Rick Scott believes that charges should be levied against this nursing home, but there's a couple of inconsistencies and some law getting in the way. The facts are 9 elderly in the nursing home passed away after the power went out. Staff did use cooling fans, ice, and other methods to keep the building cool, which doesn't show that they willfully neglected the people in the nursing home. At least 2 ex-prosecutors say the owner, Dr. Jack Michael, and staff probably may not be charged in this. Florida has a culpably negligent type law, and it states that consciously doing an act or following a course of conduct that the defendant must have known or reasonably should have known was likely to cause death or great bodily injury. That's the hang-up. That's why those 2 ex-prosecutors don't think that this particular doctor and the staff are going to be charged with negligence. Yeah, I know. I'm getting to that. The problem is this. There was a hospital 50 yards away. That's one. The home admins were in contact with the state, but never said the situation had become dangerous. And as Panina says in the live chat, nobody called 911. The building never exceeded 80 degrees Fahrenheit, they say. State law places danger levels at 81 degrees Fahrenheit and above. The police on the scene said the faculty was very hot. The deceased had body temperatures of 107 degrees and 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I'm sorry, but in an 80-degree facility, a deceased body should not have a dead body temp of 107 degrees.
No, it should only have a body temperature of about 80 degrees room temperature.
Well, I mean, you die at 98.6, and then every hour you go down, what, 1 degree? Or is it 1 degree or 2 degrees every hour? That's how they guesstimate. You start cooking internally at 104. Yeah.
Yes.
And these people were rated at 107 and 109 internal temperature after they had passed away. So they're still looking into that. So I am going to keep an eye on that to find out what's going on.
Neil, I'm going to explain something to you about most nursing homes. The staff they're normally understaffed, underpaid, and unfortunately that leads to not watching of the patients.
Yeah.
They try to make their rounds understaffed, and and if you've got 30 patients per individual member of staff, they just don't get around to everybody, and it's not ever pleasant. And unfortunately, when you run into places like this, these are the kind of circumstances that you hear about.
Yeah. And yes, Jason, I probably would have called it 77 degrees too. I mean, first of all, it's Florida. It's hot and it's humid in Florida from basically March to maybe November.
Did you see what Panina wrote?
Yeah. Outside temp was about 98 to 102 and no circulation in the inside of the building. People were claiming it felt like 110, 115 degrees. I don't doubt it.
I don't doubt that either.
I don't doubt it either. I mean, the evidence is there. Good morning, Wikipedia. How you doing? All right. Jose, this little guy has been downgraded to a tropical storm. He's 230 miles. That's 375 kilometers south of Nantucket, Massachusetts. And he's only got winds of 70 miles an hour, which is 110 kph for those of us, my friends in the UK. However, Maria hit Puerto Rico with catastrophic flooding and results as well. Maria struck the island. The storm, which lost some of its punch, went back up to a Cat 3 and is now headed to the Dominican Republic, and it will scrape across the Dominican Republic's northern coast. Left 80% of homes destroyed in Juanamatos, Puerto Rico. It has claimed 9 lives so far. It's brought down cell towers, power lines, snapped trees, and ripped off roofs. As of this morning, Trump has declared Puerto Rico a disaster, which means funds will be released for aiding the territory to get back on its feet. So that did happen. So that's some news there. And then the Mexico earthquake. Do I have pictures? No, that's Namibia. That's South Korea. No. Oh, well, I didn't put the Maria picture up there, but oh, well. All right, so Mexico earthquake updates. Death toll is now at 245, with over 100 of them being from the capital itself. Over 40 buildings have collapsed. Mexico City took most of the brunt of the earthquake. A 12-year-old was found alive in the rubble of the school. She said she saw 2 of her classmates, but she couldn't tell if her classmates were alive or not. So they are finding survivors in the rubble. Searchers are using thermal cameras for body searches, as well as dogs, to sniff out any survivors in this rubble. Now, you have to understand, a lot of these buildings pancaked, including that elementary school. So they're expecting the death toll to go a lot higher than it already has gone. 3 people were found alive in Querétaro. Oh boy, here we go. Everybody gets to giggle. I hate these Aztec names. The Popocatépetl volcano also had a small eruption which flattened a church and killed 15 people. So they even had a minor volcanic eruption down there in Mexico, and it claimed the lives of 15. So we've got that going. Yeah, Trump keeps winning. Oh, Trump. I saw a video this morning where it showed the Iranian delegates' reaction, telling Iran that they needed to stop spending money on their nuclear program and start spending money on improving their people's lives, and to stop funding Hezbollah. And the Iranian, I swear to God, the Iranian delegate looked like he had eaten a sour persimmon. And then it flipped over to Netanyahu, and he had this shit-eating grin on his face, and he's clapping, and he's nodding his head, you know, like finally somebody called this idiot out, you know. Wikipedia, to be classified as a hurricane or tropical cyclone must have maximum sustained winds of at least 74 miles an hour. Thank you, Wikipedia. I see. Long Aztec name. They refuse to let people shorten. I can't. You know, some of the Aztec names I can actually pronounce. That one threw me way off. Okay, what we're looking at here is what's going on in South Korea. The 2nd Infantry Division of the U.S. 8th Army performed its Warrior Strike operation, which is part of its joint routine drills with the South Korean military forces. It's not a response to what's going on in North Korea, even though Pyongyang keeps saying that it's an act of aggression. They're going to keep saying that no matter what. South Korea is fully aware of the situation that's going on in North Korea because, you know, they are their neighbors in the South, so how in the world are you not going to know what's going on in North Korea? Let me see, what else do we have? The troops are based off as DMZ. For those of you who don't know what that means, that's demilitarized zone. Lieutenant Colonel Kimmel was quoted as saying, "None of us are oblivious to the tensions that are taking place. We hear about them every day in the news, and we're all aware of that. And I think given our proximity, given our partners, it does increase our urgency." Russia and China have called for the U.S. and South Korea to suspend these routine drills and for North Korea to suspend nuclear programs. Look, they haven't suspended them yet. I don't think they're going to suspend them anytime soon. And as long as North Korea is posturing like this, I say let the U.S. and South Korea continue their drills. You know, the U.S. ambassador was heard saying that the call from Russia and China to end the drills was rather insulting. So we do have that response from the ambassador. from our own ambassador. Now, here's an important piece of information that not very many people know. Let me see here. And yes, that is Namibia Bank. And we are discussing Africa and its ties to North Korea. And I said that right. Neil, I'm waiting for North Korea to consider eating nuclear fuel. No, you didn't zone out and thought you were hitting taking on a Romulan. That's that Welsh city that nobody can pronounce except for that one guy doing the news report. Good Lord. All right, let's see here. UN report, 10 African countries flaunt North Korea sanctions and import goods. You heard that correctly, and we're going to go down the list. Pyongyang is reported exporting over $100 million in goods to Africa yearly. Yearly. This means they have been doing this regardless of the sanctions, regardless of the resolutions. And it's like I always say, you can't put sanctions on a madman. Kim Jong-un is a madman. He doesn't give a shit how many sanctions or resolutions you're going to put on him. He is going to do what he's going to do anyway because he wants to, period. The UN panel is investigating 10 African countries possibly sending millions of dollars to North Korea for arms and military training. And obviously, he's using these funds for the nuclear program. So the UN is investigating possible training of Congo and Angola troops by North Korea, sales of automatic weapons to the Congo by North Korea, the sales of arms and military radios to Eritrea, boy, if I mispronounced that, I'm sorry, by North Korea, the sale of anti-aircraft missile systems to Mozambique from that country, repairs and upgrades to SAM and air defense radar systems in Uganda from North Korea. For those of you that don't know what SAM is short for, that's surface-to-air missiles. $12.5 million worth of military-related contracts to Tanzania from North Korea. The UN's also looking into possible infractions by Benin, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. Whether North Korea is building an intelligence gathering center and munitions factory in Namibia, they're looking into that as well. Trump administration has threatened to cut off aid to countries aiding North Korea. We'll see what happens. So far, he has followed up on everything he said he was going to do as in regards to North Korea. So if he follows suit, he will be freezing assets going into North Korea from these African countries. And I hope he waits until the report comes out and they have concrete evidence that this is happening. So far, this report is an investigation. This is all that they're investigating. And Africa has a record of ignoring UN sanctions. So they're not taking the sanctions seriously. So there is a really good possibility that these reports are going to be backed up and that there is going to be concrete evidence found that this trafficking is happening. Because let's face it, it is trafficking. We're going to call a spade a spade. When you're doing stuff illegally like this, and they are breaking a slew of sanctions doing this, it is trafficking at this point. You are illegally trafficking all these military equipment, munitions, and training people against what the UN wants you to do. But like I said, Kim Jong-un is not going to listen to the UN, and he's not heeding these sanctions and these resolutions that have been passed. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's going to do what he wants anyway, because he thinks he's the big kid on the block. He doesn't realize he's the flea on the back of the dog in the rest of the world, because he's not a superpower. But he keeps prodding all the other superpowers. So we're still going to keep an eye on it as long as it's going. And tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am going to finish polishing up that presentation. So far, I have 2 guests. I still have 1 slot open for the Fire and Fury Series 1 live stream, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel. So please DM me if you want to be on the live stream at that time. That way I can say that the panel will be full for that live stream. Equifax had hacker problems since March. I'm going to leave that in the air. Hackers have been in Equifax's system since March, 2 months before the company disclosed any breach whatsoever. gave hackers plenty of time to probe for weaknesses in their system. It's dated March 10th was the original breach that is just now coming out, that we're just now knowing about. Let me see. This is 2 days after Cisco Systems warned Equifax of a flaw in Apache Struts. For those of you that don't know what Apache Struts is, it's an open source software package. They're thinking that the hackers spam the internet for this particular flaw in Apache Struts, and that's how they got into these systems, via that particular flaw. And they cased the company, Equifax, for usernames and passwords, documents, and sensitive information. Now, from what we know of the timeline, Equifax only reported breaches on May 13th and late July. So they didn't tell us, this didn't come out, the breach that actually happened in March, until just now. I'm going to leave that there, because that doesn't sit right with me whatsoever. I mean, you are a credit monitoring company. You have social security numbers, credit reports, and everything of everybody that has ever taken out a loan, a credit card, or financed anything whatsoever. And you're not going to disclose to the public when the initial breach happened? I'm sorry, but no, that doesn't sit right with me, and it's not going to ever sit right with me.
Well, it's one of those happenings that should not have happened.
Exactly.
Number one, their security is supposed to be top notch. They're supposed to guard and protect things like that. And the fact that they went beyond what they were supposed to do, they kept it quiet, and there may have been what seems to be some insider trading.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to follow this a lot more closely and everything, and just see, you know, how far it stretches. And
well, I mean, considering the fact that the head of the division in Equifax didn't even have a degree in cybersecurity.
Yeah, how do you get that job without having the knowledge base that's required? That's what I would really like to know that.
Good morning, Rhetorical. I put my name in for the class action lawsuit on the Equifax issue. Oh, good. Panina Chan. Yes, that's the fucked up part. Yeah, it is the fucked up part. Did an interesting story. The breach isn't the worst part. It is the fact that people are now having to pay to get it fixed. Yeah, he did cover that. Good morning, Dark Art. Nice to see you in the live chat this morning. Okay, before we get to the recommended videos and the live streams and all that, I do have an announcement. And if you spread this out, and I'll probably put that out on Twitter, but here's the official announcement. I am going to be switching merchandise stores. I'm going to be leaving Cafe Press, and I am going to be going to a much user-friendly merch store. But there's one problem. I don't like the designs that I made. And I know there's lots of artsy people out there that are probably, you know, more than happy to design coffee-themed things and MWM media-themed logos and stuff for the company. So here's a contest for you. Submit your design by either DMing me on Twitter or DMing me on Discord. You have until October. What are we going to do here? We have until, let me check this calendar. Let me check my calendar here. September 29th to get your submissions in. Once that happens, what I'm going to do is I am going to open a temporary channel on my Discord to accept votes on which are the most liked designs for the store. The top 3 winning designs, no, it's going to be announced. The store's going to be announced, but it's not going to be TeePublic because Ronan is doing my looking and vetting for me for my merch store. Third place is going to get 10% off permanently in the merch store for any merch that they buy. Second place is going to get 15% off of anything they buy from the merch store. First place and winner of the design contest is going to get 20% off permanently from anything that they purchase in the merch store. These 3 designs will be the first 3 designs uploaded to the store, and those are the prizes for the tiers because we're broke and we can't really give you any better prizes than that. So that is the contest. I am going to put it as an announcement on the Discord. So, let's see. And don't forget, the lights are flickering for some reason. Let me shut off the air conditioner just in case, because we don't need a fucking... Because I don't want it. And we're flickering, and I don't like the flicker, and the flicker is making me nervous. Okay, don't forget to check out the Dragon's Den in case you don't know what the Dragon's Den is. You can order your very own custom chainmail dragon. You can pick your scale color, you can pick your gemstone color, and you can even pick the length of the dragon. 4 to 6 weeks to assemble and ship out, and I will even send you progress pictures of how far along I am in making your dragon. That way you know that it's coming along rather nicely. And yes, that was a commercial. All right, let's see here. Recommended views this morning. At the top of the list, Caeruleus Valentinius did an absolutely hilarious video titled Things You Shouldn't Say to a Chub Chub, where he responds to a BBC television show. I had a couple of chuckles because he really did take the piss out of the people on that show. Lizz Reptile's Community is a channel for you. You can contact Lizz on Twitter. If your channel's been struck down and you can't upload videos, let her know and she can hook you up with manager status on her channel so you can upload to that channel and still keep your content going so you can still stay relevant. That is a channel that she is making for whoever gets struck down and cannot upload. The link to that channel is down below. The recommended video is YouTube Hates You. She explains everything about what the Lizz Reptile Community channel is about. The next one is Midnight's Edge, Star Trek Discovery and the Orville's pilot review. They go through the entire thing about Star Trek Discovery, including how Isaacs, who is the star of the show, shitted on the classic fandom. Yes, he did that. And if you want to know what exactly he said, you're going to have to go to Midnight's Edge and watch. Excuse me, all of a sudden I got burps. You watch this video. Last recommended video is Sinatra Says. The title of this video is Autism Speaks is a Horrible Charity. Don't donate to them. It's a 23-minute video that you have to see about this charity because this charity is absolutely horrid. He shows you advertisements for this charity, which make your skin crawl. He also breaks down the finances of this charity and come to find out that most of the money that's given to this charity isn't even going to the families that have autistic children. I'm going to let that hang in the air. Those are my 4 recommended videos for the day. Let me see here. The competition, you'll need to specify file sizes. I will. I'll get all that together. We need to specify file sizes and proportion sizes for submissions. A lot of these merch places require image sizes to be a minimum of a certain amount to be usable. So when you find the site... Yeah, I'm still looking. It has it's not only the size and everything. It's got to be like, X amount of DPI. Yep, all that stuff. It could be a real pain in the butt. And I was at one thing, was making it. And what does this blasted thing do? I hit save, go back to check on it, and everything I just typed was gone. Just disappeared, never saved. So give me that spoon over there. All right, there's a spoon over here. Yeah, you keep moving stuff. And just give me a pixel count. Yeah, no kidding. Just give me a pixel count. Exactly. I'm with you on the pixel count. What website are you using? All that is going to be... I've got to find one. Yeah, he's got to find one. He's my vetter. He's the one that's going to, when he's ready We're hoping to have the contest in full swing with all the details up on Sunday before we start the marathon, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sunday before
I will probably have a location picked out today because that's what I'm going to be doing here shortly.
Okay.
Because I got to get it done so I can go over to, Star Trek.
Okay. Rhetorical says Zazzle is pretty good. And I think Finn's uses Redbubble.
All right, I'll pull both of those up.
Okay. All right, so here is our cringe or funny story, or take it as you will for the day. Headline reads, Colorado cops search for poop and run jogger. I read that right. I certainly read that right. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Our own Rhetorical is from Colorado. Police in Colorado are searching for a jogger they say is repeatedly interrupting her runs to defecate in public in one neighborhood. The man almost made it through a show without having to cough.
You're kidding. You're shitting me.
That close. Kathy Budd tells CBS affiliate KKTV her children first alerted her to the woman she dubbed the Mad Pooper who caught the jogger in the act weeks ago. Budd said the woman apologized after she questioned her. They're like, there's a lady taking a poop. So I come outside and I'm like, are you serious? Budd recalled, are you really taking a poop right here in front of my kids? She's like, yeah, sorry. Oh my God. But she says the jogger has left something behind on her runs at least once a week for the past 7 weeks. 2 other times we've caught her yesterday. She changed up her time a little bit because she knew I was watching, Bud said. Police have asked Bud to take pictures of the woman so they can try to identify her. Bud has put up a sign asking the woman to stop. She says there are public restrooms in the area as to the woman's possible motive. There's plenty of public restrooms less than a block away from where she's targeting, Bud said. This is intentional. The Colorado Springs Police Department is investigating. They say the suspect could face charges of indecent exposure and public defecation. It's abnormal. No, duh. It's not something I've seen in my career, Sergeant Jonathan Sharketti told KKTV. For someone to repeatedly do such a thing, it's uncharted territory for me. It's a drive-by pooper. Run-by pooper.
With a run-by fruiting.
Dark Art Levi, stop that. Oh my goodness. Oh.
That's a nice reference there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that collar of the street. Most
Boogity,
definitely. Yep. Boogity, boogity. Boogity, boogity. All right. Let me see. Let me go back to Evernote, and we need to go to the live stream listings for the day.
No.
Yeah.
Damn it, Dark.
Now we're going to have that song stuck in our head all day long.
Oh,
okay.
Sound, Benina?
No, I had to mute while I was coughing. It should be good now. I don't want to cough too many times on stream, even though I was this close to getting through a whole newscast without doing it. One of these days, man. All right, live streams tonight. Honey Badger Radio is having Modern Women, Victims of Their Own Personal Choices, Pussycat Cast number 17 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on their channel. Thorne Inside is having an Insomniac stream at, I think it was 9 p.m. CST, which is 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Wred Fawks is having a graveyard shift at 5 p.m. Central. That's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on her channel. So those are the live streams for the day.
Eric, earworm complete. My work here is done. Neil, the defecating decathlon.
Dying on the stream is an advertiser friendly. I love you too, Rhetorical.
And Panina, she loves your hair.
Thank you. Thank you. So that is the news, the fun stuff, the what the fuck stuff, the recommended views in the life.
And you're welcome for the what the fuck stuff.
Yeah. He came up with.
I was just browsing. I was actually on Facebook checking some things and everything, and this was actually trending on Facebook.
Oh.
So I went. I can't stop myself.
Click. Exactly. And to quote a local TV station in the area, MWM Media is funded by wonderful listeners like you. Whether it's PayPal, Patreon, going to my website and signing up to be a patron with one of those PayPal link tiers, shopping at my store, or placing an order for the Dragon in the Dragon's Den, your support goes to putting a better roof over our head, food on the table, and gas in the tank. And on that note, it's always morning somewhere, which means it's always time for coffee. You guys have a thoroughly fantastic Thursday, and see you in the Discord for the coffee club.